In the tranquil rural community of Pike County, Ohio, a grisly tragedy unfolded on a seemingly ordinary spring day in April 2016. The quiet morning was shattered when 8 members of the Roden family were discovered murdered in 4 separate residences. The brutal killings were calculated and deliberate, not random acts of violence, but a coordinated attack on a single family. The tragedy sparked one of the most complex investigations in Ohio's history, as local authorities and state investigators scrambled to piece together what had happened and why. The morning of discovery, the gruesome scene was first uncovered by Bobby Jo Manley, who arrived at the home of her sister's ex-husband, Chris Roden Sr., to feed his animals. As she approached the house, she noticed an unusual quiet and several unsettling signs. Dogs that were normally inside were left outside, and Chris's truck was still parked in the driveway. Upon entering the home with her friend Billy Morgan, they were met with a horrifying sight. The house was in disarray, with signs of a struggle, blood smeared across the floor, and a grisly discovery in the bedroom. Chris Roden Sr. and his cousin Gary Roden were found dead, covered with a comforter. Bobby Jo rushed to the nearby home of Chris's son, Frankie Roden, and his fiancée, Hannah Gilley. Inside, she found the couple, who had recently welcomed a baby, also brutally murdered in their bed. Their children were miraculously unharmed. Bobby Jo then contacted her brother James, who immediately went to their sister Dana Roden's house to check on her. Dana, along with her children, Hannah Mae and Chris Jr., had also been killed. The scene was equally devastating, with each victim shot at close range. The initial investigation, as news of the massacre spread, fear and confusion gripped the community. With so many family members targeted, speculation ran rampant. Law enforcement officials, led by Pike County Sheriff Charles Reeder, began a painstaking investigation across the 4 crime scenes. The Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, BCI, was called in to assist, and the investigation soon became the largest in Ohio's history. Each crime scene presented unique challenges. In Chris Sr.'s home, investigators found evidence suggesting the killer had disabled the property's surveillance cameras and meticulously cleaned up the scene. Shell casings were notably absent, a sign that the killers had taken care to remove any incriminating evidence. Similar signs of a deliberate, methodical attack were found at the other locations, including damaged locks, missing surveillance equipment, and a conspicuous lack of ballistic evidence. Theories and speculation. Early in the investigation, there was rampant speculation that the murders were related to a large-scale drug operation. During the search of Chris Sr.'s property, authorities uncovered an elaborate marijuana-growing operation, leading to theories that the killings were the work of a drug cartel. However, as the investigation progressed, this theory lost credibility. Law enforcement officials, including Attorney General Mike DeWine, began to focus on a more personal motive, suspecting that the Rodens were targeted by someone they knew. The Wagner family connection suspicion soon turned to a local family with deep connections to the Rodens, the Wagners. The Wagner family, Billy, his wife Angela, and their 2 sons, Jake and George, were known to have a contentious relationship with the Rodens, primarily revolving around custody disputes over 2-year-old Sophia, the daughter of Jake Wagner and Hannah Mae Roden. Following the murders, Jake Wagner gained full custody of Sophia and moved with his family to Alaska, a move that raised further suspicions. The Wagners were subjected to intense scrutiny. Law enforcement executed multiple search warrants on their properties, uncovering a trove of potential evidence, including shell casings and forged custody documents. The family's phones were tapped, and surveillance was placed on their vehicles, but direct evidence remained elusive. Breaking the case, the breakthrough came when investigators linked the Wagners to the crime scenes through a combination of forensic evidence and shoe prints. A pivotal moment was the discovery that Angela Wagner had purchased specific Walmart shoes matching prints found at the crime scenes. This, along with extensive surveillance footage and intercepted communications, provided the evidence needed to charge the Wagners. In November 2018, the entire Wagner family was arrested and charged with the murders. Jake Wagner eventually struck a plea deal, admitting to his role in the killings and providing detailed accounts of how the murders were planned and executed. He described a meticulously coordinated effort involving his father Billy, his brother George, and his mother Angela. The motive, according to Jake, was to secure custody of Sophia, whom the Wagners believed was being endangered by the Roden family. As the legal proceedings unfolded, Jake Wagner's testimony proved damning. He confessed to personally killing 5 of the 8 victims and implicated his family members in the plot. Angela Wagner also took a plea deal, admitting to her role in planning the murders, but denying she had participated in the killings themselves. George Wagner IV, who pleaded not guilty, faced trial in 2022. Despite his claims of innocence and lack of direct evidence linking him to the crime scenes, he was found guilty on multiple counts of aggravated murder and other charges. His conviction underscored the jury's belief that he was complicit in the murders, even if he did not pull the trigger. A tragic legacy. The Pike County Massacre remains one of the most shocking and complex criminal cases in Ohio's history. The sheer brutality of the murders, combined with the intricate family dynamics and the painstaking investigation, has left an indelible mark on the community. The case has not only brought justice for the Roden family, but also highlighted the devastating consequences of familial conflict and the lengths some will go to assert control. The final chapter of this saga is yet to be written, as Billy Wagner still awaits trial. As the legal proceedings continue, the community of Pike County and those who have followed this tragic story hope for closure and a semblance of peace for the families affected by this unimaginable crime.